Buy cheap and safe NBA 2K22 MT at NBA2King.com. You can use code Excapar, that's EXCAPAR, for 5% off your entire purchase. Alright, best shooting guards tier list. Let's just get on with it. If you guys want to check out the point guards tier list, that'll be linked in the description down below, so you can have some fun checking that out. Hit that subscribe button, the like button, comment down below what you guys think. Move some guys up, move some guys down, or for just perfect down below. And keep in mind that there may be a little addition of something towards the end of the video saying where another card is ranked, because I'm going to assume that some new cards are going to get dropped, but I'll have to see if any of them are really worth talking about. Anyway, let's start it off with our hard pass tier, where we're coming out with Tim Legler, Sean Livingston, Max Struss, Rudy Fernandez, Jalen Noel, and Jamal Crawford. I think just most of these cards are just really meh. In my opinion, Tim Legler, yeah. I mean, he's got his jumper, I think it's 17 on quick, which is pretty nice. It's pretty cool. I do like it. I just don't really think that he's anything that I'm really too excited about, that I'm trying to use, or anything like that. Sean Livingston, he's cool, but his jumper is just kind of terrible. He's a little bit slow. His defense is really ain't all that. He is a good finisher. He is a good playmaker, but aside from that, it's a little bit meh from him, if I'm being honest. Max Struss, he did get a jump shot change from set shot 4 to jump shot 4. With set shot 4, he probably was the worst shooting guard in the game, but with jump shot 4, I do think he's alright. Just no defense to be seen, to be honest. And I'm still holding the grudge for having to do his challenges with set shot 4. So I'm still a little bit mad about that. Rudy Fernandez is pretty cool. He's got jump shot 22, but again, no defense to be found whatsoever. I just don't really think that if you're going to be using an all-offense shooting guard, that Rudy Fernandez is going to be the guy for you. Jalen Noel, again, all offense, no really defense. He does have way too many badges you need to add to really make him an absolute god. And I'm just not really feeling it. But he's a good like playmaker. I think he's like a quick dribble style or something like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, not my cup of tea. Jamal Crawford is pretty fun, but if we're being honest, let's just keep it a buck. There's no real reason to use this Emerald outside of, you know, just getting him for a collector level challenge that you're trying to move it up. That's really the only reason that I can see that you would like go out of your way to get this Jamal Crawford, because he really is okay. He's just nothing special, man. And with that, we can move on to the still decent tier, but we got a few more cards out there. We'll show them all up right here. We got my man Wesley Matthews, who is a pretty decent card when it comes to 3 and D. I just didn't think he was too crazy to really warrant putting him any higher. He's a fun card. He's part of those, you know, playoff push that people have been, you know, still grinding. I've been really slacking with the XP and stuff like that. Just got so many games I'm trying to play before I go back to class. But Wes Matthews is pretty cool. 6'4", 6'8" wingspan. He does have that 3 and D ability, and he's overall just a nice card. Oladipo, nah, he's got a pretty bad jumper, if I'm being 100% honest with you, but he does have really good defense. So, you know, there is that. His, you know, playmaking, finishing is alright, but I'm not really too excited about him. Rex Chapman is up next, and Sexy Rexy, who is pretty good, again, when it comes to getting buckets, but doesn't really have too much defense. Really about it. Eric Gordon is kind of the same way, but has that Oscar Robertson jumper, and it's a pretty decent card when it comes to just getting buckets off, because he can be a little bit shifty if you want him to, because he has Oscar jumper on quick. You can't really finish too well, can't really play too much defense, but you could badge it up if you wanted to, but he's a good card. Next is my man Hershey Hawkins. Now Hershey's chocolate. Decent card. He's a decent card. I'm pretty sure he has I'm feeling like it's jump shot 40. I'm gonna double check actually, but I think it's jump shot 40 that he does have. Was actually jump shot 39. I was wrong, subtract that by 1, which is that Kelly Oubre Jr., Franz Wagner, anything like that. And he's a good shooter. He's a pretty defender, good playmaker, and decent finishing. Although he has a 55 driving dunk, but he just got that base dribble style, and you really want to play him as a PG mainly. It's just again, anybody with the base dribble style, I hate to do it, but I gotta move you down. Michael Jordan is supposed to be a slasher, but doesn't have quick first step. I don't really think he's the most insane of shooters. He is solid, but mainly picking up Jordan for his ability to slash to the basket and play some pretty good defense. Overall, I think he's good. I just don't think he's anything too special. Nick Anderson's kind of just a pure shooter. They did give him gold clamps, but I just don't think it really makes up for anything. Overall, he's just kind of like a catch and shoot guy that plays some okay defense, and there's just a lot of guys at the 2 that can do that and do it a lot better. Clyde Drexler's up next, my guy, but yeah, I gotta move him down again. The base dribble style. Jump shot 5 is cool, but again, it pulls you into people all the time. I get a lot of hate for putting Clyde Drexler down on jailers every single time, but I'm still gonna do it because I personally just don't think he's that great. Dion Waiters, pretty cool card, pretty fun. He's basically just a worse version of Steve Francis, and when you're a free card that's worse than a card impacts, or your card impacts is worse than a free card, you know I gotta knock you a little bit. And last but not least, in our still decent tier is actually Hamidou Diallo, who is actually pretty good when it comes to being a slasher and a defender, which is pretty nice. But the guy just really doesn't have a shot, and I just don't really like set shot 3, so he's really not a threat out there because you can pretty easily contest it, like really easily contest it, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much. Overall, I do think he's nice, but he's nothing crazy. Alright, so now that we've finished all that, we can actually move on to the pretty damn solid tier. We're starting off with our man Anthony Simons. Now, Anthony Simons is kind of more of a PG. You don't really want to be using Anthony Simons as like your, you know, shooting guard. If we're being 100% honest, you know, you want him to be something else. But he is pretty solid. I wouldn't say he's anything crazy, but he does, you know, Hall of Fame posterizer and limitless takeoff. He's got catch and shoot. You got bad jumps on defense. Jump shot 12 ain't too bad. But overall, he's good. He's just, you know, solid, man. He's just solid. He's just not baby demon there. Next is my man Shannon Brown, who I wish was a little bit better. He is the only card that we have in the game right now with jump shot 26 on the quick release timing, aside from Gold Katino Mobley. And he is so good for that, man. With an 85 shot 3. Now, he doesn't have snipers. That's a little bit tough. Doesn't have clamps as well. But I had to put him up there because, trust me, jump shot 26 or that fast time or quick timing, ooh, it's going to be money. Next up is my man Manu Ginobili. Now, I love Manu cards. You know, back in 2K18 or 2K19, I did a Manu's, you know, Monopoly series where I just went through and used only Manu to slowly level up the team, and it was so fun. I just don't really think that the Manu cards are really living up to what that one was. The pink diamond Manu back in the day was crazy, man. But this Manu just, you know, falls short. The jumper, honestly, the worst that I've used in the game. He does it the shifty dribble style and can feel nice, which is why he's still in that pretty damn solid tier. So although he's not really great as a shooter, he can hit it while he's wide open. He is a good playmaker, and he kind of has some defense, and he can finish pretty well. So I did have to throw him in there a little bit. Next up is my man Lou Dort, who's kind of just a 3-and-D demon, man. He knocks down all of his threes. He plays great defense. He's a good all-around too. He's just a bit undersized. Next up is my man Joe Caldwell. Base 98 is always going to be great. Because I think, no, they actually switched him to base 22. My apologies. They switched Joe Caldwell to base 22, which is a little bit tough. I would have obviously loved if he had base 98 still. And also, we're taking this into account if he's a pink diamond. I used to be able to save the evoed versions of a lot of the cards. I still can with the older ones, but for these New Year's resolution and on, I can't do it. So I have, yeah, the diamond there. But we're taking him as a pink diamond with the Hall of Fame catch, slippery, sniper, mismatch, and all that sort of stuff. But he's a really good card once you do that. I think a super underrated card. Just has that slasher dribble style. So not the, you know, the shiftiest, but jump shot 22 is always going to be great. I just wish we can start getting some cards with that on quick. Next up, Drazen Petrovic, the first card that we got in the game with Hall of Fame Limitless Spot Up, and it is absolute cheese. I mean, the guy literally doesn't miss, and that's really what you're picking him up for, just absolute three-point chucking and having a good time with it. But he still is a pretty decent defender all around, so you gotta love that as well. Next up is my man Devin Booker, pure bucket getter. Jump shot 4 on quick is an absolute joy to have out there. So, you know, big dubs for that. All around, I do think that Devin Booker is great. Just obviously you're not playing really too much defense with him, but you can add clamps. So I put him in pretty damn solid. Next up is my man Avery Bradley, who honestly is pretty good at damn everything. Like Avery Bradley, one of the better budget, you know, amethyst point guards if you're looking to use him. Obviously, we're talking about his secondary position because that's what you should be running him at. But it's because Avery Bradley is 6'3", is a 6'7" wingspan because of Hall of Fame clamps and pickpocket, which is awesome with some great defense. He has good playmaking. He can shoot and has jump shot 40. He's got the quick dribble style. He can finish. Once you add a sniper, add a posterizer onto him, as well as maybe a deadeye, man, there's nothing wrong with Avery Bradley. He's good, just solid PG. Next up is my man Josh Giddey, who I had to knock down. I originally had him up in the baby demon because, I mean, we're talking about a 6'8" guy who can play the point guard position. Like, that always just, you know, sounds like it's going to be a good idea. But, I mean, if you actually look at it with Josh Giddey, he does have that Jason Kidd jumper on quick, which isn't ideal, but that shifty dribble style is great. He's missing too many badges, man. He doesn't come with anything in shooting besides set shooter and catch and shoot. I would love if he just had sniper or the ability to add it. He doesn't have quick first step, and you can't add it. You can only add really clamps, and pick dodger is the most impactful, you know, defensive badges. You gotta add a posterizer to him. It's just missing a few things. I do suspect that once we get a Josh Giddey later on in the year, the Jason Kidd jumper on very quick. He can get sniper, things like that. He's going to be an absolute dog. It's just this one, I think it's just capped out at that pretty damn solid. Next up is my man Cliff Hagan, jump shot 17, just a good, consistent, all-around great pink diamond. I don't think that he's anything, you know, crazy or super special, but he is all-around a really good 2 guard. Next up is my man Byron Scott, who's kind of here because he is a great point guard. I think he has jump shot 22. I'm going to go with that. And the quick dribble style, just the main thing with Byron Scott, he's always a really good shooter. And then on top of that, can also play some pretty great defense as well as finish if he had a few patches. So he's not bad at all. Next up is one of the best, just cheap shooting guards in the game, in the man Buddy Hield. And again, we're going to take this into account that you have put him up to the diamond version from the Amethyst. You know, you've done that Evo and made him a insane diamond shooting guard. And then after you do that, I mean, you have a Buddy Hield who has Hall of Fame clamps, pick dodger, ankle braces, pickpocket, gold interceptor, and intimidator, as well as the Kobe Bryant jumper, I think on quick, which is just gross with that quick dribble style. Like, all around, Buddy Hield is just one of the best bucket getters in the entire game. The dude's a dog. And that actually wraps up our pretty damn solid tier. And continuing on, we have the baby demons. We're starting off with my man Ray Allen and Michael Redd. And actually, if I'm going to include somebody else into it, he's all the way down here. I don't have Bradley Beal actually in this D tier. I just, he doesn't fit. So I figured I'd talk about him right here and then show him towards the end of the list. Now with Bradley Beal, Ray Allen, and Michael Redd all have the Ray Allen jumper. Now, I think Ray Allen's kind of like that best of both worlds. He's right in the middle. He doesn't do anything besides shooting too crazy, but he's just good at everything. Bradley Beal is a really good 3-and-D card, doesn't really play make too well or do anything like that, but is really good at the 3-and-D. And then Michael Redd just gets buckets, man. Michael Redd does not miss threes. I mean, this dude is just an absolute demon when it comes to shooting, but if you're really looking at it, he doesn't, do anything else, and he has that base dribble style, which I just absolutely hate. So I know some people really love this Michael Redd, but it's probably just because they got him off the wheel spin. I do think he's good. He's kind of a cone, but they're all damn good shooters. Next up is my man Marcus Smart, just one of the best Ruby cards in the game. If I'm being honest, probably still the best Ruby card in the game. I mean, the only other competition, if I had to look at it, would honestly, he's the best Ruby in the game. If I'm looking at him. Yeah, he's damn good. Maybe you could argue like a, Sadiq Bey could be better than him, but in my opinion, this Marcus Smart is still the best card in the game at the Ruby, tier. He's a great shooter. The dude has insane defense. He can still play make really well. He can get to the basket and finish. You got to add a few badges here and there to really help that out. But she's just an absolute god. Marcus Smart, super fun, super nice. And when it comes to Ruby PGs, yeah, he's the best they got. Next up, it's a sad day, but I had to move down Glitch Klay Thompson down to the Baby Demon tier. Now, I will say, I don't think he's that much different from his Opal, but, yeah, he's definitely worse than his Opal, so I had to knock him down a little bit. Glitch Klay Thompson still has some of the best dribbling you can find in the game. Klay Thompson jumper on quick is absolutely amazing. His playmaking is good. His finishing is all right. It's nothing crazy. If you already have one that has all the Hall of Fame badges, I would definitely keep him and use him because he's still in the Demon tier with that. But just the base version of the card, I'm going to have to put in the Baby Demon. Next up is my man Dr. J, the Rudy Gay jumper, and some of the best finishing I have found on a card. Is absolutely insane, plus has great defense as well. This Dr. J card, really one of the most slept on pink diamonds in the game because people just don't use him. He's super cheap as well. I absolutely love him. Next up is my man Dan Marley, who I had the unfortunate circumstance of going against a few times because this dude's just got defense, man. Dan Marley, 6'6", 6'9", wingspan, Hall of Fame catch and shoot sniper, but then has Hall of Fame like menace, clamps, pick dodger, ball stripper, ankle braces, pickpocket, tireless defender, and 96 perimeter defense. The dude is just crazy. Now, jump shot 7, which is his normal jumper, really nothing crazy, but when you have defense the way that this Dan Marley does while still being able to shoot, finish, and play make, yeah, you can find your way into the Baby Demon tier. Next up is my man Jeff Malone, probably a card that not too many people really know is there or really have even given a shot. But Jeff Malone is actually a really good card. He comes out of the exchange, 6'4" shooting guard with a 6'9" wingspan, and has the Trey Break jumper on normal, which is actually really solid, man. I mean, really, really solid. He has good defense, comes with clamps, stuff like that, good playmaking, good shooting. Doesn't have sniper a little bit, which is sad, but still all around a damn good card because, I mean, we all love that Trey Break base. Next up is my man Jason Richardson. I think he's got jump shot 31, which is a pretty solid jumper, all things considered. Great slasher, can shoot really well. Just a bit of a off-ball kind of guy. You really don't want to be dribbling with him too much. But, I mean, even in saying that, he's a damn good card. Next up is my man James Harden. I wish they could make his hop steps a little bit better because this James Harden is actually the best we've had in a while. It just feels like those hop steps really don't do too much. That's kind of his move, But either way, James Harden is a nice, easy, consistent at time jumper, although it is a little bit slow, depending. But James Harden, just aside from the hop steps, feels like a really shifty charge that you can always get a bit open with, always hit those contested shots, which is kind of gross. But get to the basket and still finish. And I'm super glad they kept the defense on this James Harden, because it's always one of the things that makes it so he's not used for until the end game, where we no longer really want him. So it's really cool to see a James Harden finally have some use and be a really good card in 2K so far. Next up is my man Jamal Crawford, trade break base, shifty dribble style, I think it is, and just some of the best dribbling moves you find in the game. We can badge him up so we can get some good defense, but the dude is just an absolute demon when it comes to his playmaking. If you guys have played Park a while and think of, like, play shot where you're just dribbling a lot and just chucking up threes, that is exactly this Jamal Crawford, and he is damn good at it. Next up, Eddie Jones, Hall of Fame interceptor, instantly gets you up higher on the list than maybe you should be. But I think he's got jump shot 13, which is a great jumper all around. Just have some fun with. He's a great slasher, good shooter, great defender, all around. Eddie Jones just great. I just love him for that 3 and the ability with that Hall of Fame interceptor too. It's crazy. And last but not least is my man Doug West, who just hasn't gotten enough respect on his name. Same jumper as Jason Tatum, 107 on quick, but then has the shifty dribble style with the Trae Young behind the back. Like, it is crazy what this Doug West can do. Has some crazy finishing out there. He has Hall of Fame quick for stepping downhill. He's got good defense. Just add a sniper onto him and a deadeye, and this becomes one of the best cards in the entire game. He is super funny, super consistent, super nice. Doug West is a sleeper pick right now, man. And he's on like 150 tokens. Best token mark card right now. Last but not least, we can start off the Demons tier with my man Reggie Miller, the best shooting guard in the game, and it's really not even up for debate at this point. If you're going in clutch time, I think you know the annoyance of watching the rigged wheel spin just go right by Reggie Lewis or stop right before or just bounce you right out. It's terrible. But Reggie, 6'7" with a 6'8" wingspan, has absolutely insane defense. Hall of Fame quick first step. He's a great shooter. He's a great finisher. He's got the Kemba Walker jumper on quick. He's got the shifty dribble style with the Rose combo and the Scottie Pippen behind the back. The best dribbling moves in the game. Like, it is crazy what this Reggie Lewis can do. By far the best 2 guard we got right now. Next up, my man Luka Doncic. I've tossed around a lot of stuff with this Luka Doncic and where I wanted to be, but after seeing some people finally figure out how to use this Luka, which is literally just like pass him the ball, jab step to get a little bit of space, and then chuck it because his jumper pushes people away, and then Hall of Fame deadeye, blinders, set shooter all pop in together with that sniper, and he becomes insane. And then also having clamps. I've gone against this Luka a few times, and he actually hits the most consistent contested shots I have seen in the game by far, and it is actually pretty annoying. Next up is my man Larry Hughes, the sleeper. Takes like 20 minutes and you get one of the best shooting or point guards that you can run in the game right here, and the dude is just so fun, like so fun. I actually recently picked up LaMelo Ball, and I did the quick little grind to get Larry Hughes, and now I have a 6'5" and a 6'6" PG, and it's crazy. But Larry Hughes is a 6'5" PG with a 6'8" wingspan. He does have jump shot 84, which is the same one as Tyrese Maxey, Evan Mobley, but he has it on quick with that shifty dribble style, the Isaiah signature combo, which is crazy. The dude has absolutely insane defense. We're talking about clamps, interceptor, menace, ball stripper, ankle braces, and pickpocket on your point guard that you can add on brick wall onto, which I did as well. Has great playmaking. You do have to add a sniper onto him and a deadeye. It's really, and a posterizer, really, because outside of him, what you do, this Larry Hughes is an absolute god to be running at your point guard position. Next up is my man Kobe Bryant. Kobe is just Kobe, man. I mean, let's be honest. You know he's going to be one of the best shooting guards in the game. His dribble style is absolutely insane. He locks it down. He shoots great. He finishes the basket amazing. His playmaking is good. All around, Kobe's just one of the best guards in the game. Next up, Galaxy Opal Klay Thompson. I think we all know it. Also, I love the card art with the, with the headband and stuff. Oh, it looks clean, man. It looks clean. And in saying that, Klay Thompson's a god. Klay Thompson, absolute demon. Absolute demon. I honestly think this is the best Klay that we've had in years, because we've won the last 2-3 years, but Klay just hasn't really been crazy. But just an absolute 3-and-D monster. He is crazy as a really primary ball handler with that shifty dribble style, that Wade combo. Striking behind the back is great. Love his Klay Thompson jumper. His tendencies are insane on this court as well. Just all around, the dude's a demon. Next up is my man Joe Johnson, who's my starting shooting guard for a while until I eventually replaced him with Cazzie Russell, which was a dub, let me tell you. 6'7", 2 guard, has Hall of Fame deadeye, sniper, limitless spot up, and blinders with jump shot 38 and quick. That shifty dribble style, and he has Kemba Walker's dribbling move, so you know it's going to be crazy. Also has Hall of Fame clamps, which is awesome to see, and quick first step if you get the signed version. All around, with base 38 on quick, all these crazy good badges, all these crazy good stats. Joe Johnson is one of the best cards in the game. Trust me, if you haven't tried him out, you need to. Next up is seriously one of the best defensive guards in the game, and that is Jaylen Brown's Pink Diamond. The dude is just a god when it comes to locking everything up, to the point where I still run him off my bench because he's so good, even though You know, I have Kazi Russell and all these other guys to play my 2 guard. He's good, man. Hall of Fame catch and shoot sniper is crazy. His defense is crazy. His player build is so much bigger than it should be, despite being 6'6" on the actual court. Jump shot 75 is amazing, like so easy to time, although it is a little bit slow. All around, the Jaylen Brown's one of the best slashers in the game. Can still shoot great. Can still play make as like a secondary ball handler and play absolutely insane defense. You got to give love to Jaylen Brown. Let me. What do I have to do? I have to scroll up. There we go. A little bit off. Next up is Dwayne Wade. The dude is just crazy. We all know that D Wade is one of the best, you know, jumpers in the game and has for the longest time. And then you mix that with having crazy good defense, insane speed, and crazy good slashing ability. Dwayne Wade, one of the best cards in the game, although you kind of want him to be a point guard instead of a shooting guard. And last but not least, same story. He wanted to be a point guard instead of a shooting guard. It is Galaxy of Donovan Mitchell. I do think that when this card first came out, insanely overpriced, but 6'1" guard who has a 6'10" wingspan definitely makes it better than you would expect. All of him clamps with some great defensive play on the perimeter, and even a 79 interior and an 80 block as well. One of the fastest cards in the game and a 97 speed with Hall of Fame quick first step is crazy when you mix that with the shifty dribble style. Jump shot 4 is godly, and his finishing is absolutely insane. Wish he had better defensive tendencies, but all around, Donovan Mitchell is an absolute demon when it comes to playing that point guard position, because that's obviously what you want to be doing with him. So that actually finishes off our shooting guards tier list. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. Again, Bradley Beal, I just didn't have room for him, so he's going to be right there. So, you know, it's tough. I may add a section onto here if there's any, like, crazy good shooting guards that dropped today. Who knows? We did get some pretty decent ones in the Hunt for Glory soaring set, but we'll have to see. Anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Like the video if you guys did enjoy. Comment down below what you guys think. Would you guys move some guys up, move some guys down, or are they just in the perfect spot? Subscribe if you guys are new. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.